Hey guys, what's up? It's Katie and I'm back with another Marvel Contest of Champions video, and it is Top 5 Thursday. So today we are going to be going over the top 5 champs who are best to run with the Ouchy Mastery. Yes, I don't want to quite say it yet. So these are the champs, in my opinion, who I think run best with the Suicide Mastery setup. So if you plan to use this Mastery setup, these are the champs that I think benefit the most from it. Now, this is just my opinion. I could be missing some, and that's perfectly okay. Make sure you let me know in the comments below who you think are the top 5 Ouchy Mastery champions. So let's get the countdown started with the number 1 spot, and that goes to Omega Red. Now, Omega Red is great with suicides, and the reason for this is simple. Number 1, he heals from the bleeds, right? We all know that as long as you run a point and coagulate, you are good to go, and he's poison immune. But the thing that really works out great for him is that bleed debuff activates his death field, boom, at the start of the fight. So you're able to get more spores on, you're able to do a lot of damage quicker, build up your spores, get that degen on, and just watch him melt opponents. And this is why Omega Red is the best champ to run with the Suicide Masteries. The number 2 spot on the list goes to my girl, Black Widow Clairvoyant. Now, Clairvoyant is great for this mastery setup for reasons, well, that are pretty specific. Number 1 is she alternates between immunities. So you'll start out being bleed immune, so you'll just get rid of the bleed, and then you can get into the poison immunity, the Curse of Plague, so you'll just ditch that poison, and then you can regen any of the recoil that you take back if you enter back into the Curse of Blood. So this makes her a really good candidate to run suicides, and she really needs them to get her damage where it should be. Without them, Claire's not a great champion. She's still good, don't get me wrong, but she really benefits from having this mastery setup in order to get the most damage out of her and then build up to a nasty special too. Number 3 on the countdown goes to Ghost. Ghost is amazing with this mastery setup, because especially if she's awakened, because if she's awakened, she starts the fight phasing, which means she instantly phases those 2 debuffs and you're automatically given 2 furies right out the gate. If she's not awakened, just dash back and get that bleed and poison off of you. It really helps her out. And let's face it, with Ghost, you're not throwing a lot of specials. So that's what makes her a really good candidate for this mastery setup. Number 4 on the countdown is, well, a bit of a tie. And the reason for that is because both of these champions can be somewhat similar when it comes to this mastery setup. So that is why both Guillotine 2099 and Warlock are number 4 on the countdown. Both benefit highly from this mastery setup. Both have the immunities to go along with the mastery setup, and both have some regen built in. Warlock, off of his special 3, he can heal back up, and Guillotine 2099, when she drops below a certain threshold, she can regen a whole lot up, or if you choose her pre-fight ability, the stability function, she's able to lifesteal a certain amount of health back after her hits off her mediums. So having that really benefits them. Now, Warlock, you're going to want to throw your special 2s, and he does a lot of damage with those armor breaks. Plus, if he's awakened, he's got that degen. While it's not potent, it's still kind of beneficial for him, although not necessary. And Guillotine 2099, she is a ramp up champ for sure. But once she is ramped up, she is there, and her DOT is on point with her degen and her energy damage from her sword. So having the Suicide Mastery setup for both of these champions is ideal in order to run them. It's not maybe necessary, but I find having this mastery setup with these champs really makes them a cut above the rest. And number 5 on the countdown goes to my boy Aegon. Now, Aegon is great for this mastery setup because he gets the tenacity, which allows him to shrug off those debuffs, which is great, especially when you're doing longer content, because he'll instantly shrug him like that. And if you're doing longer content, you're not going to be throwing as many specials, and you can just kind of pot him up a little bit more. That's why he's number 5 on the countdown and not higher up, because you are going to need to dump some pots into him through the quest as you go, depending on where you're at, whether that be somewhere in story, in a variant, or even in the event quest. So that's why he is number 5 on the countdown, but he does really benefit from it, although you can run Aegon without the Suicide Masteries. And what's a countdown without an honorable mention? And this week's honorable mention goes to Corvus. Yes, this child of Thanos. He is a heavy hitter, and what makes him great with this mastery setup is he'll actually heal from the bleed. Now, the problem here with Corvus is once he gets rid of his glaive charges, if he's awakened, he will die. So you kind of got to keep that in mind, and that is why he is this week's honorable mention. And this was a tough one because there are a lot of really good champions that run really well with this mastery setup. So it was basically like splitting hairs between him and Aegon. But anyways, guys, that's all that I got. Let me know in the comments below, do you agree with my list or am I missing someone? Should Corvus and Aegon be switched? Let me know in the comments below and let's discuss. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching and enjoy this quick word from Kevin Smith.
Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith, and if you enjoyed the mediocre Mcoc video full of scrub gameplay, then show Katy some love by hitting like and subscribe, man. Katy don't ask for much. Katy did ask for this. Katy did. So, do like Katy did and bug people and get you to like and subscribe, man. She's doing that Mcoc beautifully. Not mediocre. Katy!